Sorry, I'm backing up out of my parking space. So, see, I find myself starting every video with so, as if I've been saying something. I haven't been saying anything to you. Why should I start it with so? I don't know, it's one of those filler words like and or I think I've talked on this before. But anyway, I want to talk about the Super Bowl. It's coming up this Sunday. Now I realize my uploads are a little bit behind. So when you're seeing this video, it may not be that the Super Bowl is actually coming up on Sunday. But for me, in real time, it is. Super Bowl 52 is coming up. And there's some controversy. I'd be lying if there wasn't. Now, I feel like I need to set a disclaimer here. I am not the biggest sports guy in the world. I don't follow teams regularly. I don't know anything about the stats or, even players on each team. I know which teams there are. I know who's playing. I know some of the surrounding media around each team. So obviously with that comes the New England Patriots and the controversy surrounding the fact that they may or may not be cheaters. I shouldn't even say the fact. The idea that they may or may not be cheaters in the NFL. There are people that argue heavily both sides, and there are people like me who just don't care. But I do like football. I enjoy watching football at all levels. Well, not the young kid level, because that's just painful. But at the high school level, college level, and professional level, I enjoy watching football and just being entertained by the game. And I think it's that ability to separate myself and just watch the game and not the players and the coaches and read all the tweets and the controversy and all that that allows me to enjoy it more. And I've said for a long time that movies and football kind of follow the same line of logic for me. A football game's sole purpose is to be entertaining. It's supposed to be entertaining to watch. One team is supposed to win, another team is supposed to lose. The winning team gets rewarded with more games, going to the Super Bowl, and the chance to win the title. In the grand scheme of things, that title means nothing, especially to you who's sitting on your couch watching. You didn't play, you don't get a ring, you don't get your name on a plaque or a trophy or whatever. It doesn't happen for you. So why are you so emotionally invested to the point where you need to argue and make enemies with people over a game, over a team that you just don't agree with? It makes the whole experience less fun for everybody, because then we all feel like we need to get involved in the argument when we have no business doing so. There's a system put in place of people in charge that are supposed to worry about these things. And none of us sitting at home watching the game on ESPN are in charge of that. It is nobody's business whether or not a team are cheaters. If the powers that be have deemed everybody fit to play in the game, then everybody is fit to play in the game. That being said, I don't always agree with it. I hear stories of players who are arrested for DUIs and drug usage and performance-enhancing drugs and just things that don't apply. Let me take that back. Performance-enhancing drugs is a different story. That should affect whether or not they're able to play. Okay? I'm about to get in some really, really muddy water right now with what I'm about to say. But the fact of the matter is, if a player is arrested for a DUI, drug usage, domestic violence, animal cruelty, whatever it may be, all these things that have risen in the professional field of athletics in the last 10 years that I've been aware of them. Those are things that should affect their ability to play, and sometimes they don't. In my opinion, if you are not setting a good example or being a role model for the people that are your fans that look up to you, then you are not doing your job as a professional athlete, because you have put yourself into the limelight saying, I am a person that is performing at the highest possible level in my field, and I am making this mistake, consciously making this mistake. That should affect your ability. In the same way that me as a teacher, if I do something in the public eye that is of negative portrayal to my students, for example, if I were seen a few blocks away from the school lighting up a joint, Never going to happen for me, ever. But if I were seen doing that, I should be reprimanded at my job. Even though I'm on my personal time, I am near enough to the school. There are students possibly present. If I'm doing something wrong, as a public figurehead to this group of people, I should be reprimanded for it. Maybe not lose my job, but definitely have some consequences. And I know these players get fined and all that stuff. And I'm talking about things that I don't really have any business talking about. Because like I said, I don't follow the sport that closely. But there needs to be some more, I guess, clearly set boundaries so that we at home, and I use we as the royal we because I'm clearly not that invested in the conversation, that we at home need to be able to know that what can be done is being done. So that these professionals, these people that our children and we are looking up to as role models, as people who have performed so highly that they are now being paid to play a game, that they are held to a higher standard than the rest of us. If you're putting yourself into the public eye, you need to accept the responsibility that comes with that. On the other side, movies and football. Movies are made to be entertaining. If you are entertained, the movie did its job. Football games are played to be entertaining. If you were entertained, the game, the industry, the league did its job. I'll see you tomorrow.